that I know my God. You will never share your glory with anybody. Oh my God. Praise be the Lord as we be in this meeting again after 1 week of walking in the power of life in the Spirit. Believing that today we shall walk more in life that is dictated by the Spirit because it is the spiritual that controls the physical. And trusting in the Lord that the blessing of today shall coincide with you and your life shall be a bundle of blessing and glory unto God and your environment in life. Because it is a meeting that releases succinct word that affect our life spiritually and in every area. Therefore, it is time for Spirit and Life Encounter with the Holy Ghost on WhatsApp Facebook channel. You are welcome. As talking about life in the Spirit for today, we are turning again to Romans chapter 8. We pick that particular portion of the Bible or passage of the Bible because it is a total explanation by Paul the Apostles of what life in the Spirit is all about. Therefore, from verse 1, read to verse 14, as we read last week, the Bible said that there is therefore now no condemnation to them who are in Christ Jesus, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For the law of the Spirit of life in Christ Jesus has made me free from the law of sin and death. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, God sent his own Son in the likeness of the sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness after the flesh is after the Spirit. For they that are after the flesh do mighty things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded to God, it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be, but in the Spirit. If so be God dwell in you. Now, if any man hath not the Spirit of Christ, he is none of his. And if Christ be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the Spirit is life because of righteousness. But if the Spirit of him that raised us from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Christ from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by the Spirit that dwell in you. Therefore, brethren, we are dead shall die. But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the flesh, ye shall live. For as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. God bless you as we take to the journey. Now, only on the beginning portion of that passage last week, which is talking about verse 1 and 2. And we elicited the point that life in the Spirit is to, and we explained to the point that those who cover their sin, they don't live in repentance. Those who justify themselves because of what they do, they do not live in the Spirit. To live in the Spirit is to live in repentance, and repentance makes our sin be covered by God, not by us. And as such, we live above sin. We become like Peter that walk on water, who cannot drown, because we have capacity to walk upon water. As Peter also walked upon water. And what is that water? The problem of life. Sin. We walk upon it. Sin has no dominion over us. Why? Because the poison of sin that kills it is already living in us. That's repentance. Before the sin is formed, we have repented. Even before it causes our heart, we are already repentant, because repentance confronts it and makes the power of that sin to die before it is activated. And today we are going to look at something that concerns verses 3 to about verses 5 or 6. The Bible says that there are some things that law will not do, and that it is weak through the flesh. Law will not do it because it is weak through the flesh. But God sent his only son in the likeness of sinful flesh for sin, condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. Now, have you seen some people who are struggling with some things? They struggle with addiction, they struggle with things that they don't like to do, but they find themselves falling into it over and over again. The problem is that they do not take note of the fact that there's life in the spirit that can subdue such capacity of the flesh to rule over their lives. And this I'm going to explain in a dimension today that is going to be deep and communicative to our very understanding, if truly that we want to live in the spirit. And to live in the spirit is of God, and we just have to cooperate with God to achieve it. Nobody is born in the spirit. We are born in the flesh. You say that in sin, my mother conceived me. In sin was I born. And that is the same of everyone. We are born in the sin of Adam, but at regeneration, when we became born again, we deliberately release ourselves to the Spirit of God to take over and silence every power of the flesh. And that is why we are taking up today from Matthew chapter 5. You know, I say something there. In verse 48, that is the last verse in that Matthew chapter 5, verse 48. That is where just read had his longest sermon. We call it Sermon on the Mount. Matthew chapter 5, verse 48, the Bible says that be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Many Christians for several years are still battling with this place that it is not possible. Why would God tell you to do what is not possible? This place is as good as repeating what has been said in Leviticus chapter, where the Bible says to the children of Israel that they should be holy, even as I, the Lord their God, am holy. God can never tell anyone to do what is not possible for man to do. If God tells us to do it, it means that God knows that it is very possible. It is practicable. That is why God says, go and do it. So, do not be in the party of those who say that it is not possible to be perfect, it's not possible to be holy, simply because we are human. Everybody is human, but some people decide to be spiritual. As a result, God said, holy, I'm the Lord your God. We should be holy because the Lord God that we serve also is a holy God. Okay, that's Leviticus chapter 19, verses 1 and 2. The Bible says, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, ye shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. So God can never tell a man to be what he looks like man can never be. So, in that Leviticus chapter 19, verses 1 and 2, you should look at 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 16. The Bible is written, it is holy. And the Bible explained in that, Peter explained in that record of 1 Peter chapter 1, that to be holy takes only obedience. So if you obey the law of the Spirit, to be holy becomes a jolly ride. If you obey the law of the Spirit and take cognizance of the law of the Spirit, to be holy is a jolly ride. In fact, to be holy is as easy as just eating. As a result, the first step to being holy is to believe that it's possible. If you are in the league of those who believe holiness is not possible with man, you can never be. Because as a man thinketh, so is he. Therefore, Jesus says that be therefore perfect, even as the Lord your God or our Father in heaven is perfect. So it's just the same thing as saying be holy as God who is in heaven is holy. Now, from these three standpoints, out of the mouth of two or three witnesses shall truth be established, it is very clear that the aspiration, the mind, the will of God for his people is to be like him as he is in heaven. Just as we have in the book of 1 John, chapter 4, I think verse 13 here, the Bible says that as he is in heaven, so are we in this world. As God is in heaven, so are we in this world. We are not in this world as men, and God is as God in heaven. No, the Bible says we are here now, just exactly the way God is in heaven. That's 1 John chapter 4, verse 17. Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in this world. Not that we are going to be, we are already so. So God has given us the capacity to be like him in heaven. In what? In holiness, as we have seen, in power, because us, but in all, exceeding abundantly above all we are asking or thinking, according to the power that he has put in us. Therefore, the solution to the problem is already in us. As a result, it becomes more or less a prelude. We must adhere to a high standard of Christian life. That's exactly what we need to adhere, agree, and adhere to a very high standard of Christian life. Because it is the standard that we adopt that becomes our, whatever standard we adopt becomes our flight. So anybody that adopts a weak standard will be weak in the Christian life, and will be weak in holiness, will be weak in perfection. So a Christian will be weak in spiritual life. But if we adopt consciously a very high standard of spiritual life, as Bible has made us see it, we become just like God is. Why? Because the standard of God is very, very high. So if we set the standard of God for ourselves, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, looking unto him, so it should become our standard, not anything that is less in the face of the earth, simply because it looks good. Jesus Christ should be our standard. Now, those who want to be living in the spirit have to set high standard, as you have said here. Now, let us quickly explain by the scriptures what can give us understanding of what Jesus says. Christian life is in levels and stages. That is why the Bible refers to a child of God as a building. Some are at the foundation stage, some have gotten to window stage, lintel stage, some have gotten to the slab stage, some are already having the upper chamber being built, some are already at the stage of the roof, some are at the stage of interior decoration. And as a child of God, we get from one stage to the other. And God understands that Christian life takes us from one stage to the other. And what God actually says there is that those stop at foundation, those stop at window level, those stop at slab stage, those stop at the upper chamber building, those stop at the roof. Let every interior decoration, exterior decoration be perfect and become a show and masterpiece. That is exactly what God is saying. In the book of John, chapter 8, the book of John, chapter 8, in verse 31 and verse 32, two verses there, there is a very wonderful illustration that we can use to describe what is on the table that we are discussing. John chapter 8, verse 31 and 32. Then said Jesus to those Jews which believe on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Then Jesus said to those Jews which believed on him, if you continue in my word, then are ye my disciples, and ye my disciples indeed free. Now, the portion that we have just read, the addition to that portion is that every Christian will go through four stages. Four stages. Number one stage is follows God by the law. A Jew is that person that knows all the law of Moses. Do not have any other law before me. Remember this, the Sabbath to keep it holy. Honor thy father and thy mother. Do not be a false against your neighbor. Do not covet and all that. So we have the Jew level. And the Bible said that God was talking to the Jew that believed on him, which means after being a Jew, you can come to the level of believing in Jesus Christ. Now, the fact that you are not stealing, you are not telling lies, you are not coveting, you are not even having other gods, doesn't mean that you are believing God. That can be mere discipline. That can be mere home training. That can be mere upbringing that is sound. That doesn't make you spiritual. So Jesus Christ was talking to the Jews that believed on him. So the second level is to believe on Jesus Christ. Believe Jesus Christ. Believe Jesus Christ. So many are in church, they are still at the Jew level. All they understood by going to church is that they want to keep high moral standard. That is not Christianity, I can tell you. It's good. If you are a true Christian, you keep high moral standards. But keeping high moral standards does not define Christianity. As a result, the second level is to believe on Jesus Christ. Who are those that believe on Jesus Christ? They are those that are glued on the cross. As the serpent was lifted, so must the Son of Man be lifted up, and every eye that look upon him shall be saved. So, looking on Jesus Christ and accepting him as your Lord and Savior, you believe his death, his resurrection, and all that were done for you, definitely you are already a believer. And being a believer takes you to the extent of becoming an addict confessor of that same thing that you have believed, and live by the practice of that belief that we have just said. That's the death, the resurrection, and the ascension of Jesus Christ to heaven. And you believe that is God over heaven and earth. You have believed, and every other extended factors with it. Now, God said to them, who were the Jews that believe upon him? Those are the two levels. First, the two levels. Now, the next level, if you continue in my word, then I give my disciples. So, as a believer that continues in the word of God, you become a disciple. So, the third level is becoming a disciple. Who is a disciple? A disciple is someone that has left house, left father, left mother, left every belief of the tradition, every nativity belief, everything that is connected to the world. You have left everything and you are now an added follower of Jesus Christ. A disciple is that person that follows Jesus Christ closely with such close manner. As a result, you already say that that's the third level. The good at that level is not a perfect level yet. Serious matter. To be at that level means that even in your neighborhood, you'll be seen as somebody that is not serious because your life will not matter to you anymore. But even at that level, you already say that you are not a perfect. You are not at the perfect stage yet. You are not yet at the perfect stage. As a result, the third level we just mentioned here is the level of being a disciple. A disciple is, according to Matthew chapter 19, you go to Matthew chapter 19, I think verse 29. Everyone that has forsaken houses, or brethren, or sister, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive in hundredfold and shall inherit eternal life. So you guys is actually saying here that that's the level of discipleship, where you have left everything. You have left your achievement, you have left your crown, you have left your honor, you have left your dearest, you have left your your sponsors, everything that sponsors your life, you have left there. You become enemy to your father, your day that you are going to live as saying you are seeking the kingdom of God first. Then everything that matters to you becomes secondary. That's what the Bible says. That's what Jesus is saying. So at the level of discipleship, you are already crucified with Jesus Christ, yet you are living. Just like Galatians chapter 2, verse 20 says, you are already crucified with Jesus Christ, nevertheless, you are living. You are more or less like a living dead fellow. So as a result, that is the level of discipleship. But there are many disciples of Jesus Christ that still need to go one more level. And Robert said that when you get to that level, that in John chapter 8 that we are reading, he said that then thou shalt know the truth, and the truth shall now make you free. Which means you can be at disciple level, you can be in bondage. Why? Because you are not walking in the truth yet. So the highest level is the level of truth. Wonderful. And what is the level of truth? Is the level of God himself. Because John 17, that what is truth? Jesus Christ says, John 14:6, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. That is when you become Jesus Christ himself upon the face of the earth. There's a level of being a disciple. There's another level of being Jesus Christ himself. You are an embodiment of heaven here on earth. So the level of truth is the highest level. And when somebody says that the idiot for perfect as your father in heaven is perfect, it's actually saying that come to that level of truth. We are to make us different between the level of discipleship and truth. We need to confirm from John chapter 6 something that happened there. In John chapter 6, something interesting happened to establish the fact that the level of truth is not the same as the level of discipleship. In the book of John, chapter 6, from verse, let's read from verse 64. John chapter 6, from verse 64. But there are some of you that believe not. For Jesus knew from the beginning who they were that believed not, and who should betray him. Verse 65, and he said, therefore said I unto you, that no man can come unto me, except it were given unto him of my Father. Then verse 66, from that time many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him. So, Jesus was saying certain level of truth. Jesus got to a certain level of truth. Because that those who have become disciples, so that there is a difference between the level of truth and the level of being a disciple. To be a disciple, you can congratulate yourself that you have done well. The Lord says there's a level of truth you have to get to. So it is that level of truth that is the level that you say that the India of perfect as your Father in heaven. That is the level of being truly spiritual, life in the spirit. Now I'm just going to explain the level of truth in a way that we are going to understand exactly what the Bible means. So from here, you know that John was talking about stages in Christianity, that those stop at the first stage, those stop at the second stage, those stop at the third stage. Make sure you get to the fourth stage. In fact, this fourth stage is the level of truth, is the level that is so high to the point that the only way to describe it is that you are just kind of on the face of the earth yourself. Is the level wherewith compromise, backsliding, thinking twice over anything that has to be God becomes a taboo, a total taboo. In fact, it doesn't even happen because you have already become an inhabitant of heaven. You are a total embodiment of Jesus Christ himself upon the face of the earth among men. Virtue of heaven follows. Thought of heaven is the thought of your heart. The spirit of Jesus Christ is following you. Now, it is very clear for example, 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 4. The Bible says that I will that all men be saved and come to the knowledge of truth. You don't know the truth simply because you are going to church or because you are not good at saying that, you are this, you are that. You don't know the truth, and the enemy still present like the truth is always appearing at the latter stage. Why? If the truth appears too early, you are going to backslide and crash. So many people that are still believers or going to church, they are not ready, they are not yet at the level of truth. That's why it is not everybody in church that you rebuke, because rebuke some people, they will never come to church again. And that becomes their destruction. So as a result, they cannot reach high, too high. Even Jesus, I don't want to say it's a mistake, he loved a man in the Bible and tried to take him from the best to the highest level. The man crashed, even with Jesus Christ himself. You don't give the truth to anybody that has not climbed the ladder to the point of that truth. As a result, in the book of Mark, let us look at how truth works. Now, before we go to that book of Mark, there's something that Paul says. Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 23. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 23. Paul says that all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. If you go to the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12, Paul mentioned the same thing here. 1 Corinthians 6, verse 12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. Have in chapter 10, we have it in chapter 6, verse 12. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. All things are lawful for me, I will not do them better than they are lawful, because they may not have capacity to fulfill what is the perfect divine will for my life. Now go, Mark chapter 10. Jacob met a man, a young man indeed, very rich, and he was, Mark chapter 10, verse 17. And when he was gone forth into the way, there came one running and kneeling to him and asked, Good master, what shall I do that I may inherit eternal life? Verse 19. Do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not bear false witness, defraud not, honor thy father and thy mother. And verse 20. And he said, Master, all this have I observed for my use. Verse 21. And Jesus, go thy way, sell and give it to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven. And Paul, take up thy cross and follow me. Serious matter. Verse 22. For he has possession. You can see how the law of the Spirit that just rolled out for this young man crashed in, where he should be buried. Now, taking it one after the other, he came to just by looking for eternal life, which means with all the laws of Moses that he was keeping, he doesn't have eternal life. What he does for not to what we have been talking about is just at the level of a Jew. Just at the first level of relationship with God. Be a Jew. So from being a Jew, you believe in Jesus Christ. From believing in Jesus Christ, you get to the level of discipleship before you can get to the level that Jesus Christ was introducing him to. But because from primary school, Jesus was trying to make him to have a master's degree, he couldn't pass it. Why? Because Jesus Christ loved him. So the love of God for us should not be a snare to us. Children of God, the love of God should be blessed to us. As a result, Jesus Christ rolled out what is right way. Now, going by what we are talking about here, what is the level of truth? The level of truth, from what Jesus said here, I've never seen anywhere in the Bible, since I've been reading it, that the Bible says Except here, that for a man to be in eternal life, to please God, you have to sell everything you have and become empty. There's no way it is written in the law of Moses. But it's not written in the law of Moses. I want to assure you it is written. The level of truth is not the level where you quote Bible as this is what Bible says. The level of truth is where what is written in the Bible is now a revelation to your heart and become an instruction and a revelation to your own personal revelation. The Bible has moved from the level of logos to become a red mark to you. That level of truth. So as a result, this young man just said to me that there's something you lack. Go and sell everything you have, give it to the needy and the poor. Which means the reason why he doesn't have eternal life is because his wealth was his God, and he was keeping on the law of Moses, forgetting that he was failing the very first law. Do not have any other God before me. That money is his God. That money is his God. As a result, the revelation that money is his God is what he doesn't have, because he has not gone to the level of truth. So what God told him is actually part of the law he said he had been keeping from his youth. Only that he was keeping letters, he was not keeping the spirit in the world. No wonder the Bible says in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 6 that letter killeth. But it is spirit that make alive. The spirit makes alive, but letter killeth. So the level of truth is the level of life in spirit reading, where we receive revelation by the word of God. We are not quoting Bible to justify ourselves. You know, you can quote Bible to do anything. You can quote Bible to be a thief. You can quote Bible to be like, you can quote Bible to be anything you want to be. But this is not the level of quoting Bible. It is the level of revelation by the Bible, by the word of God, in the will of God. Just like Jesus Christ brought to this man. It is the level of revelation where you can see through the Bible what is the perfect will of God, and which is an instruction. No wonder when the Bible says in the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 16 and 17, that all scripture is given by the inspiration of God. They are given by the inspiration of God. They are profitable unto doctrine, unto rebuke, unto correction, and unto instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect and be thoroughly equipped unto all good works. Wonderful. That the word of God is given. That now the word of God here is not Bible and the letters of Bible. It's the revelation of the truth that we now keep. Revelation is truth. So it's the level of consecration. Everybody might be. Now, I'm going to use some example of the Bible to describe it to us and to explain it very well. The Bible makes us to understand that Paul was talking about this level. He said that all things are lawful for me, but all things are not excluded. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. What does he say? Now, some things the Bible says they are not even sins. They are not sins. But actually, the fact that they are not sins, you should not do them. Why? It is not an very peak of God's way. Tell me about that. You are permitted to do them. Paul was talking about, I'm going to use two of examples of Paul's fulfillment of what he said in that 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 23. All things are lawful, all things are not spirit. Now, in the book of that same 1 Corinthians chapter 8, Paul says something. That 1 Corinthians chapter 8, if you look at verse 13, 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 13, the Bible says that Paul says, wherefore, if meat make my brother to offend, I will eat no flesh while he was standing, lest I make my brother to offend. This is a serious matter. Now, if you don't understand the matter that got us here, it may do somehow. What Paul is actually saying is that everything has been sanctified by God that you can eat. So, as we are going to bring us is that, so, but health will tell whether it is good or not. Spiritually, it's not a sin for you to eat anything that God created. But Paul says that some people have training that is contrary to the truth. They cannot take some things because that's the thing that brought them up. And you now are in an environment where such a person is. To you, rice is when sin, eba is when sin, yam is when sin, enemy is when sin. There are some people, they see you, if you eat snake, in fact, if you claim to be the best of Christian, at that moment they see that you are a devil, you are not a Christian. To you, snake eating does not destroy your Christianity. But to them, to eat snake is like you are Satan himself. What Paul is saying is that however well I like to eat snake, if I have to eat snake in the presence of those that will see it and be afforded by it, I would rather never eat snake. To Paul, snake eating is nothing, it's food. But all these are lawful for me, all these are not experience. What makes not experience is that it's going to make somebody to fall. It's going to make somebody not to believe in God. As a result, that's the level of truth. At the level of truth, you live by revelation. You don't live by to yourself. You live to God and to others. Oh Lord God. You live to the standard that it is not even what pleases you. It is not what is wrong for you. It is not. It is what is going to benefit the kingdom of God and the righteousness in the kingdom that you drive out. This is a very good example. So Paul is saying clearly here that no food is a sin. In Romans chapter 14, verse 21, that is very clear that no food is a sin. But if I'm going to eat anything that is going to disturb the spiritual life of another person, I would rather never eat. To me, it's nothing. But I deny myself that pleasure. Why? That's the level of truth. The truth, level of truth, is the level that you can deny yourself what is even right for you to do, simply because it is going to have the contrary side. In the Old Testament, the Bible says that Moses said to the children of Israel that if as you are leaving your land of, or you are getting to your land of promise, I will not get there with you. But going there, the people you meet there, if you have mess upon them and spare them, they will become snare unto you. They will become trap unto you. Because by their presence among you, they will introduce you to their God, and before you know it, you offend the whole God. What does that mean? The word that I mean there is that snare. They become snare unto you. As a result, there are some things that are even legalized that you can do. But they are snares to you if you do them. They become snare unto you if you do them. So as a result, eating can make you to become ensnared into losing souls that you have got to heaven. And you believe, say, why they will not go? Just according to what Paul said. Now, Paul was talking in the same 1 Corinthians chapter 7. He was analyzing some things. And you'll be surprised at some things that Paul was saying. Paul was saying that it is good that a person will not marry. Why would someone like Paul say that it is not good that someone will marry? Say that let everybody try to become like me. Who is not married? Paul explained here in that 1 Corinthians chapter 7. I don't want to read long portions. The Bible says, Paul was saying that everyone, if you read from verse 25 downwards, Paul was explaining that a woman that is married care for things of man. It's not a sin. In fact, she must care for them because she must satisfy her husband on the bed, on the table, in the corridor, everywhere. Because however way she wants to be a Christian, she must be mindful of her husband's need. But Paul was saying that for him, he decided not to get married because marriage is going to disturb the work. Marriage will solve the world. As a result, he chose not to. Now, the level of truth is the level where what is even lawful. Paul was saying that is it wrong for you to get married? It's not wrong. But it's going to be wrong if you get married and the woman he marries, he cannot have attention for her. As a result, he chose not to get married at all. Why? Because the assignment of God upon his shoulder takes him all over continents of the world. And in those days, there were no aircraft as it is today. So you can travel for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months before you get to your destination. As a result, he says that instead of getting married to a woman that is going to suffer like that, I would rather suffer it without getting married. So Paul says there, verse 28, but and if thou marry, thou hast not sinned, and if a virgin marry, she has not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in flesh, but I spare you. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though that they have not, and they that weep as though they weep not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of the world passeth away. But I will argue without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things of that belongeth to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he that is married careth for the things that are the world, how he may please his wife. There is difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman careth for the things of the Lord, and she may be holy both in body and in spirit. But she that is married careth for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. And this I speak for your own profit, that not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, and that ye may attend upon the Lord without distraction. But if any man think that he is behaving himself uncomely towards the virgin, he shall pass the flower of age, and need so require that let him do what he wills. He sinneth not, let them marry. Now, Paul was explaining that if any man think that he did himself uncomely, we have read that verse 37, nevertheless, he that standeth steadfast in the heart, having no necessity, but has power over his own flesh, and has so decreed in his heart that he will keep his virgin does well. So then, does well, but he that giveth her not in marriage does better. That's the verse. He that giveth her in marriage does well, but he that giveth her not in marriage does better. So what is Paul saying is that anyone that is married has done well, that is not a sinner, but he that refuses to marry is better. So Paul was talking about marriage as concerning himself, that some get married not considering that they snares their value. That's why many people get married, and that is when their Christian life take a downward turn, because they do not have preparation, and every indices, every factors needed are not considered before they go into it. As a result, Paul was saying here that there is a very high standard which can make a man deny himself of what is good, simply because you want to please God. You can say no to what is good so that you can say yes to what is best. Is Paul saying that you don't get married? That's not what he's saying. It's actually saying that you can deny yourself of what is good because you want to be best before God. You want to actualize best results in your assignment unto God. As a result, that's the level of truth that I'm trying to explain. That level of truth is not living with law, that because Bible permits something, you also can do it, but which can become a snare one way or the other. So Paul was saying very intently here that now, for example, in the expression of Paul, he was saying that some people are married. For example, a woman got married and her husband died. If the husband died and maybe with 2 or 3 children, in a day, we see that the woman's prayer point becomes another good man, another good man. If it is not coming quickly, she's going for better, she can become a backsliding Christian because she's not getting married or she's not getting remarried quickly. If she remarries, there's no law against it because the force was on her side. But Paul was actually saying that it is better that such a woman remains without marriage forever so that she can attend to things of God henceforth and not to get entangled in another bondage to man that is going to limit his love and the discharge of his or her ministry unto God. That's what Paul is saying, that so that she can have full attention to serve God now, but not to serve God and to serve man with the other hand. So Paul was actually saying what is very familiar with us. If you cannot explain by a virgin getting married, you can explain by a woman losing her husband and she will remarry. And there's no law that says she will not remarry. But simply because God permitted, it doesn't mean that it is the best thing that man can do. In the book of Luke, I think chapter 2 or thereabout, the Bible speaks about a woman, Anna, who has been in the temple for years, having lost her husband at a very early stage of her life. The Bible spoke about that woman in the book of, I think, Luke chapter 1. The Bible spoke about one Anna who has been in the temple serving God and doing all that all years before Jesus was born. And that becomes a noted thing in the Bible that she did what pleased God so well. That woman pleased God. Why? Because having lost her husband at early stage of life, she was crucified with God all her life till the end. Till she was about 82 years. I think the Bible mentioned her years at that time. When it was mentioned that she was now 82 years and stayed in the temple all her life serving God. And it was commended and her name entered the Bible because of that singular act. So that's exactly what the Bible is talking about, that the level of truth is a level that is very painful to the flesh, painful to even the spirit. A sacrificial level of Christian life where everything about one's daily life is sacrificial. One is living in so much sacrifice of life that everything that is about one's life is sacrificial. It has become sacrificial to the point that one has started enjoying those pain. Those things God paid, one has become so used to them that one is not enjoying them. That's exactly what the Bible is saying at the level of truth. So that is the level that God wants us to get to. So life in the spirit requires that we get to the level of truth, whereby our daily life shall be sponsored by truth. At the level of truth, what annoys others and justifiably should be annoyed should not annoy you. Why? You are living at the level of truth. Very high standard. Everybody become dejected because something happened. At the level of truth, you don't become dejected, rather you become more happy. You become happier. Because at the level of truth, you are living as if you are an angel physically. You are living as if you are Jesus Christ himself physically. At the level of truth, you are consecrated to the point that what everybody is doing, even as Christians, acceptably, you will not do it because you are at the level of consecrated life unto God, at the level of truth. And that's exactly what I bring today as life in the spirit. It's a life that obeys very high standard from the standard of every Tom, Dick, and Harry Christian. You keep that standard because you want to be consecrated unto God specially. Don't forget the examples we made. It is not to justify those that say that will not get married. That is not biblical. The Bible says that in the latter times, some people will forbid to get married. Some people will forbid to eat a kind of food. The Bible condemns that. It doesn't make sense. But what is it is that you forbid some things Though it is not for others, but because you want to live at that level. There's no point for me to get married and your heart is thinking about it and you are doing it under it. You are sitting privately and you announce that you are called by one day or the other and you are not getting married. That is foolishness. That is lack of purpose. The one that the Bible is talking about is that you have power to carry it and you are doing it because there is a benefit to the kingdom of God through you that you can never compromise on. Though it's painful, though it's even a lack of reproach, but you bear the reproach because God will be glorified. The work of God will be achieved. So you cannot go to the extent of not marrying or that you should get to the extent whereby ordinary word that you are going to speak and you are going to feel good that okay, you keep it to yourself because somebody can hear and to destroy you as you say. There's a fruit to eat, you can never eat it because it will destroy somebody. There's a fast to fast, you must fast it, though it is not necessary because somebody must be liberated. It's a life that you live in consideration of God's kingdom and others, and to the point that you can never pause it. For the Jew I became a Jew, for the Gentile I became a Gentile, I became all things for all, so that by all means I can win some. That is the consecrated life of a Christian life, which Joker said that we must aspire to be. The level of perfection. As a child of God, to be at the level of belief is good. I'm not talking about the level of belief. To believe is good. And many believe that that's the highest level. Please, that is not. To be a disciple is not even the highest level. It's just the ongoing business of Christian life that is still the process of your life. But when we get to the level of truth, we are going to the level where we are flying in life as if we are Jesus Christ himself, bodily. We are only what we do. Now, very good, as we cited it, is a level where both riches, wealth, and everything you have, you can part away with them because what you can have Jesus Christ. And anyone that has lost all those things for the name of Jesus Christ must gain them. That's exactly what Paul was talking about in Philippians chapter 3. Read from verse 13, where it says that I'm pressing forward towards the mark of the high calling of Christ. That he was forgetting things that are behind. He said there that he has lost his certificate, he has lost acceptance by his nation, he has lost everything just to gain Jesus Christ. So now all those things if he doesn't do all those things, he might still be well as a Christian. But he did all those things because they considerably are good for the kingdom of Christ to benefit from. So the reason why many of us cannot be at that level is simply because our aspiration to please God is too small. Our understanding of the thing that becomes the pleasure of God is too small. We need to heighten our standard. The truth of the matter is that there is no power of the flesh. For example, addiction. I don't know why I'm mentioning this. That can prevail over a child of God if it's at this level. There's no power of addiction. In fact, addiction becomes a rubbish under the feet. Why? At this level, nothing of emotion can ever prevail over you anymore. Your flesh has been crucified. Your spirit has taken over. And that's the level that God expects you and I to get to. And David was talking at the later end of his life. I think it's Psalm 139, verse 21 and 22. Psalm 139, verse 21 and 22. He was saying that he hated everything that God hates with perfect hatred. Every enemy of God, he hated them with perfect hatred. He would never come near anything that God hates. Because at that level, there is nothing of the heart, there's nothing of the pleasure of the flesh, there's nothing of human importance that is anything to you anymore. You are become someone of flight. You are now walking on water. So as a result, the second point that is considered under life in the spirit today is to be perfect. We live a high standard life that makes us to live in perfection, which Jesus requires, which Old Testament requires, which New Testament disciples and apostles emphasize that it is very, very important, so that our Christian life can be life in the spirit and not life in the flesh. So, fleshly Christianity has taken over today because life in the spirit is not understood to the point of perfection anymore. That's why there can even be preachers that say that nobody can be perfect, nobody can be holy, except only God. But why would God tell you to do what He says, or He thinks that, or He knows that no man can do? That's a very foolish conclusion. That what God says you should do is not possible. So, by the grace of God, I believe that we have been able to receive rhema from heaven by these examples that we painted to the right and the left. Because Christianity is in levels, and the level of truth is exactly what God is beckoning and inviting us to. We can get there. It's the level of revelation by the word of God. The level of truth is not the level of Bible reading. It's the level of revelation of what the Bible says. By the word of God, you can read a portion, and before you know it, you can give your next speech to somebody to eat. The level of truth. By revelation of the word of God, you can suffer wrong, and yet you are happy. By revelation of the word of God, you are living in reproach, which others see as pitiable, but you cannot see it or feel it. Why? You are the level of truth. You are crucified to Jesus Christ. As a result, I engage you and I enjoy you to get to that level because that is the level that God wants to be. Prayer over some things is enough. Let us take the decision to operate at the level of truth so that we can live life in the spirit that is going to give us flight over every problem that we will talk about or think about now. By the mercy of the Lord, God Himself, by Himself, for His own name's sake, will get us there in the mighty name of Jesus. Therefore, I pray to the Church of God that as you have had the word of God will become benefit to your soul and spirit. The word of God will expand your horizon. The word of God will give depth to your Christian life. The word of God will give height to your Christian life. The word of God will broaden your Christian life. The word of God will lengthen your Christian life. The word of God will recall every benefit that the word of God has said concerning us in the mighty name of Jesus. And the word of God has called every personal matter, financial, spiritual, marital, social. God is touching them right now in the mighty name of Jesus. So that we can receive grace to expand in horizon. That power is given unto us to get to that point where we sustain our Christian life in the level of truth without falling in the mighty name of Jesus. Where every of our environment shall live in the truth that is revealed by the word of God. And that relationship with God is so strong beyond doubt, publicly, beyond any outer doubt, before all, in the mighty name of Jesus. I pray that God will get us there. The energy and the grace to get there, God will give to us. And the strength to walk in it, God will give to us in the mighty name of Jesus. We shall be perfect. Every perfection shall depart from us, and no other shall be glorified. In Jesus' mighty name, you are blessed.